I want to leave my boyfriend of 8 years because of no proposal, but my friends and family are calling me selfish and are threatening to tell him. I'm 29, my boyfriend is 30, and there are no children involved. A bit of backstory: we met in high school but weren't friends. I was getting bullied and was unattractive. He was part of the popular crowd and was friends with some of my bullies. We reconnected again in college when I was doing much better and was actually attractive, and got together a little after that. It was a sore spot in our relationship at first, but I worked through the insecurities I had, and he supported me. He's my first for everything. I'm not his first for anything. My boyfriend, Ryan, and I have been together for 8 years now, but I want to leave because I feel like he'll never propose to me. Our relationship was great at first. Despite my insecurities, we went to couples therapy, my request, and that helped a lot. We went on frequent dates, studied together in college when we could, shared interests, lots of intimacy, always on the same page. We rarely ever fought, and I was sure I was the luckiest girl alive for not having to go through the date and breakup chapter of life. I thought he was going to be my first and only, but I'm obviously having second thoughts now. Around the 4-year mark, I was ready to get engaged to him. We talked about marriage briefly over this time, but nothing crazy since we were still getting on our feet and this was my first relationship. He still wasn't really ready to be tied down yet, in his own words. I always laughed it off because I also didn't want to suddenly become a housewife. I never wanted to be one, but he wanted me to, and that was one of the conditions for us getting married. His family wouldn't accept me if I was working, but I already had a job and degree. I was enjoying my own money and the lifestyle two incomes could provide. I loved him though, and was willing to put it aside. My family had no opinion on this. Our families were hinting at our engagement, but Ryan hadn't bought a ring as far as I knew, and we barely talked about it. He would always shut down and get pretty angry about it, then would leave with his friends to go cool off and come back late at night. He has a mixed group of 5 friends, including himself, guys and girls, the youngest being Emma, who's 24, and the oldest being Carter, who's 32. They're all friends from work, and yes, I'm a little insecure about Emma. She's the fun, bubbly blonde while I'm not. Emma also does not like me and has texted my boyfriend about it. I saw the notification clear as day unintentionally when he left his phone out and never confronted him about it. I'm in therapy for my self-esteem and communication, and it's much better than it used to be. After a few more years of this, and watching all my friends get married, I started talking to my best friend, Mary, about wanting to be engaged. She told me it'll happen when it does, and not to worry. My mom and sister said the same thing. It stung when my sister just told me to wait, because she was engaged and married within a year to her boyfriend. I started getting a little resentful, but tried to keep my head up and let things just play out. I brought up marriage more often, even the thought of kids, and he would always just shut down. He'd be grumbling and lock himself in our room if he didn't go out. I'm just over it. I think I'm falling out of love with him and just want to be loved for real. I feel like I wasted my 20s. I could have been married by now. Marriage isn't the only thing on my mind, but it is a major one. Ryan just doesn't seem to treat me the way my friends' husbands treat them. I noticed it as we got deeper and deeper, but I chose to ignore it since I was still new to all of this. I told Mary this, and she told the other 2 girls in our group. She also told my sister, who told the rest of my family. I'm getting tons of texts and calls from my aunts and sister, especially telling me not to leave such a great guy over something so small, but it isn't small to me. They're all already married, so it doesn't matter to them, but it matters to me. Marriage was a goal in my life. They're all calling me selfish, threatening to tell Ryan, and my sister is even saying that I must be cheating to want to leave so close to the finish line, which couldn't be further from the truth. Plus, what finish line? I don't see a proposal happening anytime soon, and at this point, I don't even want it. Ryan is out with his friends again at a bar, and I just feel so ugly and worthless again. I feel pathetic for being 29, not married, crying, and not making my relationship work. Mary broke my trust too by telling people, and it's messing with my head. I just want to be married to a guy that loves me. TLDR, boyfriend of 8 years shuts down when engagement is brought up and runs away to be with his friends. I told my best friend about wanting to leave since it's been so long with no ring, and she told the rest of our friends and my family. Now, they're calling me selfish and threatening to tell my boyfriend. Edit. Oh wow, I really didn't expect anything to come of this, let alone in a few hours. After I cried my eyes out and did some chores, I read your guys' comments and will update when I'm ready/Ryan comes home and something happens. The comments were a big eye-opener, and I feel a bit stupid to not have noticed my treatment, but it's hard when your world is crashing. I realize now that Mary probably isn't the best friend for me, and that her habit of gossip isn't healthy for me to be around. She's also the leader of our group, so that's always made her opinion that much more important to me. Also, my sister has always been a bit mean to me, but that's just siblings, I guess. We've grown closer over the past few years, but I think this just destroyed all of that progress. A lot of my issues do come from having been bullied back then in high school, and the longer I think about it, I don't think I'm over my boyfriend being friends with those who bullied me so badly. Also, some of you pointed out that Ryan might be cheating with Emma. I'd rather that not be true, but it seems that I'm a little oblivious and had rose-tinted glasses on. Thank you, everyone. I'll update soon. Update. I want to leave my boyfriend of 8 years because of no proposal, but my friends and family are calling me selfish and are threatening to tell him. Hello, everyone. It's been a crazy few weeks or however long it's been, and I thought that now is a great time for an update. In short, I left him. Or he left me. LOL. I thank everyone who wished me well and left a kind comment. Thank you for being interested at all. To that one person who replied to almost everyone saying that it was all my fault and that I should have just proposed to him myself, use your brain, please. I'm going to address some comments, Mary, what happened, and a bit more detail since I was a wreck when I wrote it. To the sweet and helpful comments, thank you so much for helping me open my eyes. I should have realized a long time ago that Ryan was not the one for me. He does not treat me with respect or care, and I truly did think that I was in love and that I'd never find someone better. Thank you so much for helping me realize that I deserve better. Feeling indebted to the hot guy from high school who noticed me is not something anyone should live with. Mary, we are no longer friends. Mary was always the group leader and a classic mean girl, and I was the classic meek bullied girl with no confidence who listened to her every word. I'll get into this later. Extra detail. My aunts and sister were very adamant about Ryan being an amazing guy. Why was this? Ryan was amazing at putting up fronts. To our families and friends, he was incredible to me. He would buy me expensive jewelry, compliment me often, show me off. Isn't my girlfriend gorgeous? Supported my hobbies, only to them, though. He never listened to me or cared at home, and brag about anything he could to seem amazing. He listened to everyone's problems, offered amazing advice, everything you could imagine. He was very hot and cold with me too. When I wouldn't do something he liked, he would give me the silent treatment or call me names on the occasion. When I did do what he wanted, I was a princess and goddess. You get the idea. It's hard to notice the signs or accept them. Okay, on to the update. Ryan came home a little after 2:30 a.m. and avoided me. He woke me up to ask me if I was done being a bitch and slept on the couch when I wouldn't respond. When I went to properly confront him in the morning, he was gone. Mary and my family had told him that I wanted to leave and that I was having my doubts. He left a note on the front door telling me that he was staying with a friend for space and that he doesn't think that he could stay with me after I did something so hurtful when he's done nothing wrong. The audacity, LOL. I packed my things because I was done. Once I had all my things together, I ended up sending Mary a text asking for an apology, and of course she refused and didn't even know what she should be apologizing for. She told me that I was the one who ruined my relationship and that her telling Ryan was out of good faith because he was a good man. Sparing the details, the conversation lasted roughly half an hour over text, and by the end of it, she was pissed and texted me how she never should have given me a chance all those years ago. I blocked her. Ryan had came home at some point late at night and we sat down and talked. He was very nonchalant at first and asked me if I was ready to put this behind us. I said no. We had a very up and down conversation. I asked him why he didn't want to get married to me, and he said that we don't need a piece of paper to prove our love. I said how he knew that I always wanted to get married and that he was wasting my time. He didn't like that, got angry, and asked if I was trying to leave him. Long story short, he ended up calling me every name in the book, went on and on about cheating on me, how he was never going to marry me. I was this, I was that. I should have seen it coming. Luckily for me though, I didn't cry. I usually always do in an instant, so this made him beyond angry. But it was thanks to all you lovely folks. Thank you. Police were called due to the noise and Ryan broke up with me and left to stay with one of the girls I came to find out. He had been edit, allegedly since there is no proof. It was just said during the breakup, but I honestly do believe it. Cheating on me with one-night stands, Emma, my sister, my aunt, and had mentioned how he had multiple girlfriends that weren't me, but who knows. He said how he was going to marry one of them instead. I got checked for STDs already, and I'm clean, thank God. It made me very, very sick to think about him potentially giving me a disease. He took his things with him with police supervision, and I got the locks changed later that week. Our lease was broken, no repercussions due to the police, and I found a new apartment just the other day. I don't think I will be dating for a while, but I do hope to still someday be married. I don't think I'll ever have my own biological children, which is my biggest regret and my deepest loss, but that's how life goes sometimes, unfortunately. I wanted to experience pregnancy and childbirth, the bonding with my baby and teaching first everythings, but it will be okay. I wish I had noticed all the signs sooner and left him for someone who truly loved me. I've been looking into therapy and have had lots of up and downs since. I cut my family off, my old friend group, and have been teasing the idea of getting into Pilates LOL. Thank you again to everyone who left a kind comment. I'm grateful that I wasn't hurt during the breakup because it was very rough. Ryan originally called and texted a lot, but I anticipated this. I want to get a restraining order, but don't know how that works yet. I will be working from home for a while due to safety concerns, but I feel free. Thank you again to everyone. I hope in the future I can tell you all how I'm happily married to a lovely man and a stepmommy to lovely children.